Hey guys, it's Baba Bear. I'm in Jamaica and I want to introduce you to a wonderful lady who's built a beautiful, beautiful place up in the mountains. So here it is. I want you to meet Mel, and I'm now on the southern coast of Jamaica. Over there is Sav. Anyways, you're about to meet this great lady, and I really hope that you guys come to this place, come visit it, come experience it with your heart. Anyways, here's the adventure.
On this 1 acre property, we have 2 rentals so far on just half an acre. The other half is undeveloped yet, you know, so, and originally this property belonged to my grandma. Like, I lived here with my grandma, like, since I was 4 years old, and she wanted me to have this property whenever she passed away or whatever. So I sort of created, like, turn it over into something even more beautiful, because I think that she would really appreciate this. So I planted all my fruit trees, and almost all of the plants, because there were some of the big trees were here before, like even like this orange tree. Like, I buy this orange and I planted it myself, you know. So there, yes, and all the flowers that you're looking at was planted by me. Like, it took a while because, you know, everything takes time. And then, like, 3 years ago, I start developing this property, like putting the house on there, adding like a wraparound sort of veranda, but sort of separate. Well, the real reason behind this, making this a botanical retreat, was because I believe this place is such a beautiful area, and like, you hear stuff like the tourists should not leave off the resorts and stuff like that because it's not safe, and I sort of wanted it to show to them that that's not true, because I mean, I've lived here all my life and I raised my daughter here, so I believe that it's very beautiful, and my daughter was raised here, I was raised here, and other people can come here and see how beautiful it is. Like, it's not dangerous, not at all, one bit, and everybody who comes here absolutely love it and believe that it's more than they actually think it would be, you know, because I would say 98% of my guests really love this, and like, they love the nature, the flowers, the quiet, the peace, and the sincerity of the place, you know. It's just beautiful. Now we can move on to the other cabin, where it's called the Blue Maho, where that is built. Like, that was built in late 2017 into 2018 by Terry and myself and a few other locals who also joined in to make this possible also. I would say 96% of my guests are Europeans, like people who are people who are genuine, like who really likes nature, who are really in tune to this kind of thing, are the people that I get here. Europeans, I even got people from China, if you believe that. Like, yes, so yes, but now we're moving on because we also have a coffee farm also. My dad and his partner with this other friend of his, and they put together a farm, sorry, that they do produce coffee, and they grow. My dad owns 9.5 acres of land, and on, I would say, 3 acres, like there's over 3,000 coffee trees where we produce our own coffee for the mountain, and we do drink our own coffee here. So our coffee is very organic, and we do sell the coffee like locally or to my guests who take the tour, come back from the tour, do a roasting and then a tasting of the coffee, and then get some coffee to take. It's called the Kentucky High Mountain Coffee. Other than we grow our own coffee here, the only other place it grows is in the Blue Mountain, like in abundance, you know. And then this would be sort of I would say the second place where you grow the most coffee, because coffee, it needs high elevation, like it needs a lot of cool temperature, because it don't do well in like warm climate, you know. So yeah, so this coffee started like about, I would say, 12 years ago. My dad partnered with this guy, and they have this farm going. It does take a while for the coffee to to grow, you know, like, I mean, it might take up to 10 years or so before you get your first harvest from the coffee. And then the process of the coffee, like, I mean, it does take a lot of work, like, unbelievable the amount of work it takes. But then it's worth it, you know, because coffee here, especially up here, like where no one would know coffee would grow, is grown here on the property. So people also come up for tour. Living here on this property for all of my adult life makes me realize how wonderful it is, like how much pleasure it is just to be here, you know, because it's so, it is all right, you know. It's I feel grateful, like, to just be here on this property, especially in this area, because it's like, yeah, the city is nice and everything, but to come to this after a day, like, I'm speaking for tourist wise or friend wise or whatever, even locals do come back home after living in the city, like, to this area, because it's just a super cool place to be, you know. And why I say that, because the climate is good, the air you breathe is pure, and like, you can pick your own food off the farm and eat it, like, I mean, without being infested by pesticide or anything else. It's just like as organic as you can get living on a farm in the mountains, you know, like 2,500 feet above sea level. So we're getting closer to the coffee. And also, like, with all these bananas on the farm, it also helps to keep the coffee cool, because even though we are 25 feet above sea level, it does get warm up here for coffee, you know, and coffee, like, really like cool temperature. So all these bananas that you're seeing, and the trees, like all fruit trees, because this is sour stuff, and, you know, like, just having fruit trees around to help keep the roots all right and cool is just perfect. But yes, we can go in here. Like, I think the season for the coffee is ending, but if we go in here, maybe we can find some berries that I can show you. Let's go over here. Because these are all coffee trees in here. Okay, compare the green to red to that. But inside that bean right there, this is another layer that you have to get off, and then the actual bean that you roast is underneath that. But I did not know that coffee, like the caffeine, didn't come out until the bean is roasted. I learned that months ago, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. But it was something you learn about coffee if your dad is a coffee farmer, right? And if you look above, like, this tree is jackfruit. Like, if you know what jackfruit is, like, the fruit is up there. Jackfruit is a really sort of tasty fruit, very sweet on the inside. The seeds are, like, when you cook them, when the seeds are cooked, they taste like a cashew nut, like a raw cashew nut, yes. But the inside of the jackfruit is sort of brown, like caramel sweet type fruit type thing on the inside. It's like, I can't explain it, but really a really super type food. Also very good for vegan when it's young, because you cook it up and it tastes like something you've never ate before. So, yeah.
It's a cousin of the breadfruit, right?
Yes, that's right. Just in a bigger version.
Oh.
And yes. Basically, it's just mostly family that lives here, but even if it's not family, like, locals would come to me, ask, Mel, do you have anything for us to do, or whatever, you know. Even, like, I also organize, like, work programs. Like, I would go and I would, like, bring like trash bags and buy trash bins and stuff like that for the side of the roads, or even in the communities, that would teach even the young children to put their trash in, because like, you know, I mean, it's such a beautiful place, and to have the place with trash, with plastic and everything, that don't help, you know. So I would contribute in that way. I would provide work for as much as I can, you know, because I'm still working my way up there, you know, and people see that also, so they also work with me, you know, and I work with them sort of to make this all possible and come together, because I believe it's gonna be fantastic when this business come together, and people are gonna benefit from it, as well as my family and myself and everybody, you know. So it's gonna be wonderful. Like my thing is to help my community, to help my people, you know, sort of to bring job, because it's not easy for anybody to go down there and find work. First, the labor is intense. Like, you work 24 hours a day, no pay, and you have to pay your bus fare out of that, and you have to, maybe you have to rent someplace down there, because it's always coming up the mountain, you know. So if I can help people in that way, like give job and sort of spread it around, like not just one person for that silly thing. Like, if there's more than one person in my community who can build a wall, you know, like, then I would be like, okay, you do this week, and then you do that the next week, you know, sort of just spread the entire thing around. And people are really positive about what I'm doing, and they support me, and they want to see it happen too. And the cool thing about it is they like to meet my guests. They like to communicate with them. The kids especially, they love it when the guests would come and they would communicate with my community and the kids and take pictures and stuff like that. They would even go up sometimes and tap him on the shoulder and be like, can you take my picture? You know, like, I think that's the sweetest thing ever, you know. And that also makes me think that I'm doing something right, you know. I'm giving to them this experience, and they're giving back to my community, you know. Like, I mean, just being here, and people are so nice and friendly. And I tell them, like, it's okay, feel free to walk around, feel free to just be one with everybody here, because everybody here is nice and friendly. Like, really, people would just literally see you and say hello. Like, I mean, they would think it's offensive if you just pass them and be like, not say hello, like, whoa, like, because they're so used to just being nice and friendly to everybody, and you know. But yeah, I do believe that me doing this on this mountain is a positive thing, you know, and I want everybody to be a part of it. You know, I'm not in this for myself or the money. I'm in it with my people, because this is where I grew up, and I know the struggle, you know. So, I mean, if I can do something to sort of change that, also have people come in here and be like, wow, this is great, and have a good time also, and just, you know, just be, you know, like, yeah. So yes, they can find me on Airbnb, I'm on TripAdvisor, I'm on Google Maps, and I'm also creating this this farm to table website where I have people, like, even it doesn't necessarily have to be guests, like I have locals also who wants to join, like who would come, we would take the tour, have on the farm, and whatever they collect from the farm, then we go back to the retreat, to the communal kitchen, and make the preparation there, and everybody can do that, and then we all sit down at the table and we have that meat, whatever was prepared from off the farm.
Hello, I am the dragon of Kini Wallow.